Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you today with a review of the WWE E60 behind the scenes ESPN documentary. This was a documentary that was shown earlier this week on ESPN due to the fact of me not having cable. I had to wait a few days until this was basically streamed somewhere on the internet for me to find. I've read on Twitter that basically this is a pretty easy torrent to find. I honestly went to YouTube and I watched, which looked like more than likely, which was some sort of a screener that was sent out by probably ESPN or maybe by WWE. It had a large emblem logo. It probably wasn't the best way to view it, but at the end of the day, I was able to watch it. I was able to watch it on my television, and it made it a better experience for me. Honestly, at the end of the day, after watching the E60 special on WWE NXT and the Performance Center, I don't know what I saw that everybody else, I don't know what they saw, I guess I can say. I watched a lot of reviews on this. I was very jealous that a lot of people got to watch this before I did, and I don't know, when I sat down and to watch it, I did not get the same buzz I got when I watched like the WWE 50th anniversary DVD or the Macho Man DVD or the Paul Heyman one. Once it's over, you're just like, that was a damn good documentary. I'm glad I watched that. I know more about that subject. At this, I got to see, Triple H running around the Performance Center, sort of taking that role of moving into Vince McMahon's job, the guy that's going to take over and run the business someday. I got to see him interact with all the wrestlers on a day-to-day basis. In this documentary, they follow around a few wrestlers. They follow around Adam Rose, Xavier Woods, and Corey Graves are the three NXT people that they mostly follow around. The special opens up by seeing Adam Rose at his home, taking care of his sons, and basically getting up and getting ready to start a day. He says that honestly, waking his sons up in the morning is harder than professional wrestling. As a father myself, I can honestly say that starting my girls up at the beginning of the day honestly is one of the hardest things I do. And how my wife is able to run the house when I'm out at work, I think that she works 10 times harder than I do, honestly. And to put her over the most I can, I don't think that it's something that I would have to do if I had to do it, but I'm honestly, I don't know how I would do it if I had to do it. Honestly, you just find a way to make sure that it got done at the end of the day, I guess. But it probably wouldn't be pretty. But Adam Rose is a wrestler in NXT at the Performance Center as Leo Kruger. I don't know a lot about Leo Kruger because I wasn't watching FCW and NXT at the time, but he was a wrestler that sort of had a statistic or a Satan sort of vibe going on around him, and Triple H really said that when he came out, you could totally tell that he wasn't that character. He wasn't. You could tell that he was a guy playing a character. It wasn't that he really came off as being what he was. So they come up with an idea to flip him into a babyface to try to make him more of a lovable character that people will like, and try and play off who he really is. And be able to get a better crowd reaction, be able to get more of out of the investment that they get out of this guy. So they basically are telling him to come up with ideas. From there, Adam Rose pitches a few ideas. He had ideas of becoming like an Indiana Jones-like character before they finally settled down on becoming Adam Rose. And we get to see him before his first NXT debut, getting ready with Triple H leading him through his first sort of entrance with this whole entourage of party people, and having his first match, and seeing the reaction when he came to the back, and he's met by Bill DeMott, he's met by Triple H. Triple H congratulates him on getting this character over and basically hitting all of his spots, and he's saying that basically the crowd officially forgot about who Leo Kruger was. There was no Leo Kruger chance. There was no, boos. There was no hesitation. The fans at NXT jumped right onto this character, and they could tell that it was a character that was really going to go somewhere in the foreseeable future. Xavier Woods is a wrestler. Of course, everybody knows him as Consequences Creed, who came over from TNA. He had a short stint in Impact Wrestling. I believe he was a tag team partner of R-Truth. And he had some X Division matches. I think that he was with Jay Lethal for a little while. I don't remember a lot of what he did there, but I do remember his red, white, and blue trunks sort of came off as Apollo Creed from Rocky. That was really over with me, and it really caught your attention and really sucked you into who he was. It turns out that he's just a guy who loves the 90s. He really loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These are things that he really connects with. They didn't really get over the fact of who Xavier Woods, the character, is, but they have him going out there. He shows him his preparation where he's getting his hair all wet, getting ready for that hair flip that he does with the water coming off of it, and they just show him joking around in the back. As one instance, they show him putting on a horse head and walking into the building to greet everybody, and that's just who he is. There he is. There's Xavier Woods. And they show him having a match where basically he comes down to the ring and he does his little, dance and everything like that. And, once he comes to the back, he's meted by Triple H. And they have that filmed where basically he tells him that it was a great match. He hit all the spots. Triple H wishes that he would just slow down a little bit inside of the ring. He said that was the only thing that he could really be a Debbie Downer about. Is that just slow down, enjoy the moment, let the crowd come to you, and it'll probably be a better match in the long run. Corey Graves is a different topic all in hand. Corey Graves is the guy that we see him basically at the height of his career. It looks like he was really going somewhere in NXT. He was the guy that I heard a lot about, but didn't get to see a lot about. People always said that he would really fit the NXT show, and he was a really great wrestler, but where was there a spot for him inside of WWE? Because it sort of was the ceiling that, you couldn't have CM Punk and Corey Graves on the same roster, because you wouldn't be able to sort of tell them apart. I definitely think that Corey Graves would probably be taller than he is, but definitely with the tattoos and having the same sort of look, you just would wonder, why are these two dudes there? You don't need two of the same guys, doing the same thing at the same time. I know that when, FCW was around and you saw guys like The Miz and the Alex Rileys come up, it was sort of like they were just pumping out the same wrestler with a stamp over and over and over again. And I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't know where Corey Graves was going to fit in once he got in. But he came down with 2 concussions inside of the ring in a short period of time, and WWE put him on the shelf, and he wasn't able to pass his tests in order to continue on being a wrestler. And Triple H had to pull him aside, and Triple H had to tell Corey Graves that his in-ring wrestling career was done. And from this, Corey Graves didn't feel like he had a job anymore. He didn't know what he was going to do. He had 2 sons at home, and he had a wife. His wife had to go back to doing a teaching job, but Triple H stuck with Corey Graves. And they didn't really say what the work was, but over a period of time of him putting in the work, Triple H hired Corey Graves, gave him a 2-year deal as an announcer. As of now, you can see Corey Graves on the WWE Monday Night Raw pre-show. You can see him on the NXT specials. He has his own NXT after show. I have not been able to check it out, but it is sort of like him going to conventions and meeting sort of out there fans is what I think it is from seeing previews and seeing tweets about things like that. But honestly, at the end of the day, I didn't really get what I think a lot of other people got. I remember people saying that people will never be able to boo Adam Rose. People will never be able to look at him the same. It seemed like he was just a normal family guy. Xavier Woods now as a member of the A New Day, the tag team champions. I don't really think of him as being a better wrestler than I did. I think he's a hell of a nice guy, just like Adam Rose. I met Xavier Woods for a fraction of a second at a SummerSlam. He was sort of walking the strip with Mojo Rawley. They were filming something for NXT, and when the scene was done, he was just standing there, and I just, "Hey, will you sign my encyclopedia?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Thanks, man," and I walked off. Adam Rose, I met one time. He was a really, really cool guy. Took a picture of me, signed an autograph. I handed him a Leo Kruger FCW trading card, and he honestly asked me if I cared, if he wanted the Leo Kruger signature, the Adam Rose signature, and I just told him that I only know you as Adam Rose, so I asked him if he would do the Adam Rose one, and he did it. Corey Graves is the guy that I ran into at the WrestleMania 31 ticket party in Santa Clara at the San Francisco 49ers place, and he was a cool guy, and that was right about the time that he was having to figure out what he was going to be doing with his career. I remember Victor asked him what he was going to be doing, what the plans were, and he said that, he just was still waiting for words from the doctor if he was going to be able to continue wrestling, and we were still waiting to see what we were going from there. But he was sort of working towards that role, becoming an announcer. He was the, I guess you can say, MC of the event at the WrestleMania ticket party. He was there, interviewed Daniel Bryan, Tyler Breeze, and other guys like that. But there's a lot of guys in there. There's a lot of cameos. You get to see Bray Wyatt in some of the pictures. You get to see Adrian Neville down there wrestling. It's a shame, that they highlighted on these wrestlers that they have now. It's only a dream that we can get an E60 Part 2 right now with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The stories that could be told right there with Kevin Owens coming into WWE and immediately getting the NXT Championship, beating his longtime friend and rival from Ring of Honor, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn now gets his Monday Night Raw debut on Monday, going up against John Cena. Immediately is injured and looks like he's going to be out for a continuous couple of months. Hideo Itami, one of the biggest future stars of Japan. WWE literally steals this guy away from them, and he's on the rise. I look at him as having good matches. Some people tear him apart, saying he's not really connecting here in America and wrestling the American style. Just let him be Hideo Itami. Let him be Kenta and let him go out there and do it. But he just suffered an injury. Word is he might work the next NXT pay-per-view, but he's going to be out for a couple of months with a shoulder injury. After that, Adrian Neville has hit the ground running, and he's going to be a big star for WWE right now. Lots of things going on right there. Tyler Breeze is the guy that sort of gets left off that list of future stars that are down there right now. He was the guy in the mix going after the championship. He is involved in the number one contenders match at the next tournament, next NXT special. I apologize. And we'll have to see what goes from there. So many times you think a guy loses the championship or he loses the big one, he's automatically, they don't have any more plans for him, he'll just get called up. It doesn't seem like that's the way it's going to be with NXT anymore. Adam Rose is a guy that honestly, once he got called up to the main roster, people thought this guy was going to be one of the best things in the world. Same thing with Bray Wyatt, and he didn't really hit the ground running. Bo Dallas, he lost the championship to Adrian Neville, gets called up to the main roster. Doesn't really connect with people, and he's not in a good spot right now. I mean, he goes out there and does some fun things. He got to work with Sting at the Raw after WrestleMania, but he's not really getting wins on pay-per-views. He doesn't seem like he's connecting with people on Monday Night Raw. Getting killed by Ryback on pay-per-view doesn't really seem like the dream spot to be in. Who else has got called up out of there? I guess you can even think about Xavier Woods. He is the tag champion now. But, he's the guy who came up there. They had a plan with him to feud with Bray Wyatt. And, no, I apologize. They had a plan for him to go up there and wrestle against Brodus Clay. There we go, Bees. Brodus Clay. And that feud ended, and they didn't have anything for him. Then they tried to put him in the new Nation of Domination, which became a New Day. And some people have said it's because of what happened in St. Louis last year with the sort of big riots and things like that with race relations, that WWE didn't pull the trigger and didn't go through with that. But we'll have to see what goes on. I didn't think this was the best special in the world. I think it was cool for WWE to get a big rub like this from ESPN. And we'll have to see what goes on with this in the future. So NXT, thumbs up. I always have a good time when I watch it. I'm looking forward to that special sooner than later. Peace out, everybody.